Sorry. Loki, are you playing mischief? I feel like you're playing mischief at this point. Oh, I have cake. This is the perfect occasion for cake. Cake. Hi. Do you want me to get you a new water bowl until I can get your old other one cleaned? That seems like a fair deal. What? Wait, what do I have? Do you want a water bowl or do you want a water cup? Alright. Let's just set a cup of water for Loki there. Oi. Oh. Cake. So, I don't exactly have the best resources, but I can at least show you a painting or two, and my cat can show you his ass. Way to go, Loki. Way to be classy, man. Now, I'm going to take a bite of this cake because I want to stream, you know? My freaking channel's growing. Yay! Okay. Headphones. See, even when I try to plan things out, I still forget something. Now, where are my headphones? Where are my headphones? There we are. Okay. Loki, sir, that is my cake. Don't eat my cake. I knew you were applying some form of mischief, you little rapscallion. Loki, Loki, Loki. Here. Goober. Goober. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. My headphones are connected, meaning. Uh-huh. Why are you walking on my iPad if you don't want to be picked up? No. You can't. Okay, that started. Ooh, kind of boring. That's a talent act. And I had like. Hi. Knew it. So. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but we're going to do this. Yay! clouds follow my rules. Which is actually a really good thing to remember is I follow my own fucking rules. Learned since I was a child, like, some of these rules are made by fucking morons. So I will follow none of them. Because I suppress all of them. There we go. Just gotta dip my brush. Hey, man! How's it going? Just painting the sky. Maybe a dragon. I don't know. It's very amalgamous right now. Amalgamous? Is that the word? I'm gonna paint the moon in its mouth, 'cause then it lets me segue into my world that I'm creating. I've been... I need to be very careful with this application of black. Alright, so now the moon's in a dragon's mouth, and it doesn't look like a dragon. It looks like little wisps of like something, like wisps of cloud, which is water. So this is actually a character that I've been creating since I was like 13, 14 years old. His name is Nyakohai. He's a dragon. He's an eastern dragon, a water dragon. And he kind of helps out and has the moon in his mouth, and that's how he goes about the planet. And he like controls the tides with the moon, because he was bored one day and he kept asking. That, children, is what we call mythology. Technically. High fantasy myth. And high fantasy is based off of mythology. Would you like some cake? Anyway, so no, I think he looks all right. Well, that sounded party. Damn it! See, earth tones are weird for me. And red. What kind of red is it? It's alizarin crimson hue. Fun. Alright. What happens when you mix these two together? Yeah, that works. Cat. Oh! The two making the farting sound. I have the memory of a fucking ant. I really do. So, this entire time that I've had this channel, I have kind of been working on a book thing. I don't know. I kind of want to turn it into a graphic novel. Might be a video game. It really depends, right? It depends on what I can get the resources for. Right now, I'm just kind of hiding in my hovel and just chilling and making things and just expanding my art and my understanding of it. And just figuring out what kind of style I want to do all this in. But it's been working since I was like 14. And it's like, it's a very slow process. Like, I don't have to do this in depth at all, but I want to. Because I feel like it. Because it's fun, and I quite literally have little to nothing else better to do up here. Like, I hang out with people. I absolutely hang out with people. I'll, like, get out of my house at least once a day just so I could say hi to people. And be like, how's it going? How's life? How's the projects? Because we're all bored as shit, so we're all, like, sitting here. Basically, in this town, you have two options. You can either A, just become a massive alcoholic, or you can B, do shit. Or you could just do both. Plenty of people up here do both. And that's fine. So long as they don't bother me, so long as they don't give me trouble, I really don't mind, and I actually find it very pleasant up here. Does this look like mountains to you, low-key? Like, with how the lighting is right now? I was thinking a temple, but it's really starting to come out to look like a mountain range and on a summit. So, I don't plan for this, so I guess hermitages aren't exactly all about isolation. Well, they are. Yeah, they are. I'm still a fucking hermit, though. Really, the only time I leave is for work and just to get a soda from the gas station. Maybe some food from the restaurant if I don't feel like cooking at night and if it's open. Because right now it is not. Okay. Okay, I'm definitely seeing something that has potential. So let's fuck around with it being a mountain scene. Just for shits and giggles. Shadows on the mountains. And the light. Because if that's supposed to be Nyakohar's moon, then it makes sense for it to be lighted up like this. Fucking love the Smoky Mountains, dude. Used to live on the foot of the Appalachian Mountains, more or less, in Georgia. But I live in the Rocky Mountains now. It's fun. It's a different environment. More bears. Lots more bears. And bison. And moose. I literally had, at one day, I was walking back from where I work, right? And this moose, he's just, well, this family is just sitting there watching, looking at something, and I'm just like, stupid tourists looking at random stuff that they can barely see, thinking it's something it's not. No, they were looking at a moose eating grass in front of my cabin, and I didn't see it until I was like 2 cabins away. Just like, bro, because, you know, I don't want to get stomped to death by the moose, but he's like right in front of my house. And he's just casually eating, and I'm just like, dude, can you not? Can you move so I can get inside my house? And he chews on his grass, and then he walks away like, fine. And I'm just like, okay, cool. And no, I don't even know what Rocky Mountain High is. So judge me all you want. I probably heard worse. Oh, let's see what else can I do. I have a lot of green paints on here still. That's not good. For now, I can't think of what to add. So I'm just gonna let it sit like I do for many of my paintings. And if it gets painted over like last night's painting did, then it is what it is. So. At Dracula's castle. Which version? Are we talking about Castlevania Dracula? Are we talking about Hotel Transylvania Dracula? Are we talking about, like, the actual Dracula's castle? Like, what castle we talking about here, homie? Because there's a lot of iterations of Dracula's castle. Like, just do Dracula's castle. Just do the building castle. I could absolutely go for building castle. Like, how big or small should I make that? What do you think, Loki? Okay. 1931 Dracula. Dude, why are you stealing my cake? Don't take my cake. You don't even eat people food. Alright. Oh. I see. I see why you're suggesting it. Maybe right here? Loki. I named him Loki for a reason. Alright, you persuaded me to fucking do it. Loki, you're about to step in fresh paint. Please do not do that. I love you, but please also stop trying to steal my cake. No. Loki, meow for me. Meow. No? Alright. Sometimes he'll say hello to me. Like, do a tune and yell like, meow. Like, hello. He adores me. We're gonna try to get rid of all this paint. I farted into existence. Is this where I admit that I've, like, never actually painted a building before? This is an experience. Blip. Oh, that's a horrible looking castle. Looks like shit. You know what? Anarchy. 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 Don't forget the vampire bats. And yeah, I had, it wasn't a note Lenovo. It was an Acer, and I actually still have it, but the screen broke on it. And now I no longer have a hybrid laptop. But I've had to work a long time. A long time to even look. And you'll see a lot of my early on sketches. Shit. Stupid. It's too much of a fat addition. Just adding some final bits. Alright. Do I have the fine tip? Yes, I do. Oh dear. Oh! Bunch. Okay, hold on. Vampire Santa's sleigh being attacked by a bunch of them. Alright. Bits. Oh, bits. No. Nope. I'm not going to do Santa's sleigh. Bats. Oh no, I feel like the coloring's wrong for, like, Santa to, like, be just randomly in the picture. Okay. So, I've given people plenty of time to arrive. Oh. That can absolutely show. I don't like this tripod at all. No. I don't even know what the Overland Hotel is. That's a nice view today. Past couple of days, the fog's been obscuring the mountains. The Stanley Hotel. I would love to. But the Stanley Hotel is solely seasonal work, so I would need a way to get in and then a way to get out. Now, most of the time, these companies do have shuttle services to get their employees in and out of the park, which would be specifically Estes Park, I believe. I've not tried, mainly because the job I have now is really good, and I'm actually having a really good time working for these people. Anyways, some other projects, right? Where should I even start? Because I have... four sketchbooks. I would have 5, but I don't know where my big one is, and the big one is what I have, like, most of my other stuff in. Loki, do you know where my big coloring sketchbook is? No? Okay. But yeah. Okay. Art. These things. So, okay. I have characters. No. Also, Cindy. Is that what you think my name is? You think it's Cindy? Because that's not a bad guess. I forgot I drew that. I forgot I came up with a concept for a boar. But, so, this is early concept art. This is like when I was still working on my faces. It doesn't look half bad, but it also looks very flat. Cindy isn't a bad guess, but it's not my name. And then this, I came up with this solely for Dungeons and Dragons, because I kind of built this world around Dungeons and Dragons, at least a couple of their campaigns. Lots of fun. Excellent world building, to be honest. But this is Morgana's boar. Now, wait, who was Morgana when I made this? Yeah, so there's this concept I have, a C in it. It does have a sound though, so so Morgana, there is a concept about the Morgan. So a lot of my world building stuff is mythology based, right? A lot of high fantasy stuff is mythology based. Especially from like Northern European mythology mostly. Tolkien popularized that concept, I believe, or another author. It could be anyone. But I associate with Tolkien because that was, well, one of the more popular examples. But Morgana is supposed to be a type of concept of the Morrigan. Actually, I can't remember if it's a Wikipedia or something else I heard it from. But the Morrigan. Am I getting my stuff mixed up? I always get my stuff mixed up. So, anyways, so Morgana is a Morgan. She's a concept of the Morgan, and the concept is, so Morgan is sometimes considered a triplicate, especially in the modern day. That's not saying she is a triplicate goddess. That's just saying that it's common little information about her. So she's really open to interpretation. Tolkien. Well, I'm more familiar with Tolkien because I didn't go to arcades. Because I didn't have friends growing up, don't believe me. But she was a triplicate. She's open to interpretation. So I kind of made all my gods be able to reincarnate. It's this entire one little concept of the gods are only supposed to be immortal for like an era or a dynasty. So it's this entire thing. It's still a work in progress. I'm trying to figure out the fine balance of just enough information to make it interesting and to make it interactive for people who I want to read it, and making it simple enough to where it's not a pain to follow and not a pain to process and write. It is very hard actually for me to write, which is why I have visualization and why I might just make it into a video game if I can like figure out the whole animation thing. It's software for basic animation stuff and then basic video game stuff and figure that out, which is easier said than done, trust me. But if I could make a world to where it could be an open world RPG, that would be a lot of fun, and that would also put a lot of like concepts that don't necessarily make sense inserted into a book. Like, oh, you have to find this flower or for this specific reason. That's a video game side quest. Like, if you put that in a book, unless it pertains to the overarching plot of the book, it's pretty pointless to put in there. But if you were to make it a D&D campaign or a video game, then you would technically have use for that flower to help people. And even then, in open world RPGs, you still have to have like it, at least the gifts pertain to like overarching quest or another quest. Story writing is complicated and there's a lot of pieces in it. But yeah. Aww. So I did create a god of love, and it's a male. So this is King Aaron, and he's a fae. He's a fae because he's like supposed to be. What we do know of Celtic mythology with the Morrigan is that she is married, and she is possibly married to the Dagda, right? So the Dagda I don't think is associated with love, but it's my world, okay? And this is a concept, but he looks cool. Look at him. Look at him. He looks like he's been through some shit, but is a total softie. I actually really like this design. No, but that sounds very, very bloody. This is Lyra. This is Lyra Gentileschi. I based it off the artist Gentileschi family, so Horatio and Artemisia. Now, they're kind of a prequel to Scarlet, different name in Scarlet's story. There's reason behind that. Not giving you all the details to the story, but Lyra is basically Scarlet's grandmother, Artemisia's mother, and yeah, she looks cool. She looks cool. She is a painter. She is a water mage, so she has water magic. Artemisia. So I made her androgynous. It's a she, but she kind of looks like a kind of an awkward boy a little bit, and her nose has been broken. She has fire magic. Horatio Gentileschi is supposed to be a painter, but I made Artemisia the painter instead of Horatio himself. Okay. The Hobbit films were good, in a way, but the whole elf-dwarf love story was a shoo-in, and it didn't make any sense to add it in. They had no excuse to make it the series that long to extend it into 3 movies. Just did it because of their own fucking greed. That was probably not a choice by the director or any of the production team. That was solely a choice by the studio, most likely. And it was solely a choice impacted by greed. I love the movies. I will always love the actors of the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings films. It should have been 1 film. At least 2. No, okay, so a lot of magic systems, a lot of the times they'll have the magic be super useful. Think fairy tale, or the magic is used only for special occasions, like Lord of the Rings, right? So, the rings, the magic is mostly used for combat. That's when it's really brought out. But in a show like Fairy Tale, which is an anime, it has a more wider range of uses. So, the jobs that the main gang take, Group A take, just Natsu, Lucy, Gray? Is his name Gray? And of course all the Exceeds and that. I know, but you got me on a tangent, so we're going down this rabbit hole together, okay? Basically, she's a painter, right? So I made her a painter and a water mage for a very, very specific reason. And that is, you can absolutely use water magic for all liquids. All of them. So that would technically mean that she could actually be very useful in mixing pigments for herself and mixing her own paints. Also, her husband is an earth mage and Artemisia is a fire mage, so Horatio is a potter instead of the painter. Lyra is a painter, and Artemisia is kind of an amalgamation of 2, but she has fire mage. Now, on the family tree, her fire magic comes from her father's side of the family, not her mother's side. Her mother's side with water mages, water, fire tend not to mix super well, so they don't have many fire mages in their family. Also, my name's not Sherry, but you're getting close. But with Horatio, earth and fire can mix, and they can mix very well. With wildfires, actually, instead of, yeah, they like wreck the forest and like they like make the land uninhabitable, but that's only for a short minute. They really help fertilize the forest. Sometimes forests cannot grow or have new growth until a wildfire starts, so it kind of restarts the ecosystem. Fire and the earth can work together. Fire and water, it's a bit more complicated, right? So fire and water mages can absolutely work together because water is just liquid. So if you extend it to liquid-based mages, and mages can prevalent, I don't know, words are hard. Thank you. I am fascinating. It's about some goddamn time someone finally figured it out. I'm fucking fantastic. You think I sit in the fucking middle of nowhere in like the dark crying about how stupid I am? No, I'm amazing. I make things, and I make cool things, apparently. At least that's what everyone else says, because everyone else seems to like the stuff I make, so guess I'm cool. I try not to have too much of an ego about it, right? So water and fire mages can absolutely work together. Because if you think about it, gasoline is a liquid. It can be turned into a gas, and it can be turned into a gas very easily. It can dissipate very easily, but it can still be turned into a liquid, right? So liquid mages can technically move gasoline and help out with fire mages, and air mages could do the same thing with gasoline because gas is a substance. So have water mages, you have fire mages. Water mages take the gas out of the barrels, right? They're on a stealth mission. The water mages sees that there's gas barrels and stuff and pours it out, lets it dissipate into air. The air mage allows the gas to sort of wisp to their enemies. They're smelling something, but they're just not thinking anything of it. And then boom! All the fire mage really needs is to light a spark. Thanks. Also, it's not Marsha. You were closer with Sherry. You were closer with Sherry, my guy. It's not Marsha. And of course, water mages can pull water out of the air, which is totally an idea I took off of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love it. If I can, I'm gonna see a lot of Avatar-esque movements because I'm gonna try to, like, just as a homage to them, just as like a Easter egg for Avatar: The Last Airbender fans, like, hey, they can move similar. They don't have to. They don't have to move that way, but sometimes that's how your fighting style adapts with culture. If you think about it, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a cultural way to use magic, and magic tied with martial arts. No, it's store-bought. I got it Monday. The Avatar: The Last Airbender, probably one of my favorite shows from when I was a kid. My entire family, save for my eldest sister, literally sat down around the living room and watched the final three shows of the series, and it was so much fun for me. It was such a great show. I especially liked Katara. Katara was fucking amazing. Katara and Toph and Suki. Like, you guys have to keep in mind, I come from the South. I come from the Bible Belt. Like, you live in Tennessee, so you probably have experienced this. I have eaten at the Cheesecake Factory twice, I think. At least 3 times. In Atlanta. No. I think once in Atlanta, once around the Mall of Georgia. But Georgia's part of the Bible Belt. So I was kind of, it's heavily insinuated for women to be like super conservative. Like at my age, I'm 26. I'm supposed to be married to them, to a lot of them. And the fact that I'm not devalues them, devalues me in their eyes. So I grew up with that mindset. I grew up with that religious ideology. Because my family grew up Christian. It was not fun. I don't have a good background with Christianity at all. But Katara and Toph and Suki, being the fighters that they are, was really great for me because it showed me that women can be fighters and they can be badass. And then I learned about field maidens from way back, and then that opened up. And my parents are just like a little bit of pushback, but not a whole lot. Actually, hold on. If you just moved to Tennessee, there's a cafe, right? Think about it like a Cracker Barrel with like a motel right next to it. But it's got a wooden statue of a bear. It's either called the Smoky Mountain Cafe or the Smokehouse Cafe. You should eat there. It's got really good home cooked food if it survived COVID. I haven't been there since before COVID. But when I was there, it had a little shop in it where you could get like moon pies and a bunch of like old fashioned candies and stuff. That's really what I miss about Georgia in the South. It's like this love for the old fashioned things. Like it is really nice. And I want to have this pride for Georgia, but there's also this very toxic conservative ideology there that I just can't. I can't. I've never heard you speak. So, I don't know how I can know. What's this? Oh! Oh, this is one of my dragon designs. I only did like half her head because I was still struggling with symmetry. I'm getting a little bit better. But yeah, Daria's supposed to look like something like this, and she is a sun dragon, essentially. Horatio, he looks old as fuck. I might make him look a little bit younger, but I do kind of like the look of him being like super old. He's an earth mage. He's a potter, so he works really well with clay. He also helps with getting and like crushing down the earth minerals for I named her Lyra, right? I forget names. I told you I have the memory of a flea. Oh, where is she at? Where is she? Okay. Yeah, her name is Lyra. I'm probably like, hey, you're probably autistic. But it was when I was 17, so my mom never tested me because she thought he was being stupid. I'm probably autistic. I don't pick up sarcasm, especially when it's by text. Okay, I take things literally. It's also probably why I'm so smart and creative. Yes. Oh. This is another concept. This is after she gets married to like the antagonist. Now whether or not he actually hurts her, that's something that I've struggled with as a concept. So yeah. I think that's a lot of things that authors deal with. And here's Morgana herself. So I actually really like this design just because she looks very battle hardened and just very badass, but she's also looks very old and very wise. And you see a lot of like shield maiden characters today be like very young. With more like midwife type characters being like very wizened and old. Yeah. But she, I enjoy her. I like that design. I actually might make that like, so there's the maiden mother crone aspect of the triplicate. So she is supposed to be the maiden, the mother, the crone, or the warrior, the peacemaker, and then the teacher for the next kind of, think of it kind of like an avatar. Them. They teach the next generation, and then it's an entire thing where the old generation dies and the power gets passed on to the young generation that they choose. Making it all together like difficult concept, especially with like how does this go wrong? Like, how does this go wrong so badly that my protagonist needs to, like, fix it or fix something related to it, right? So then there's that, and there's 100 concepts for that. There's 100 ideas of where that could go. And, like, I've done things like, you know, make embroidered bags. Like, this thing, every single crafting thing has been a way for me to like, okay, how would a character design this? Like, would this fit a character? Would this words? I hate talking. Rule number 1 of the internet: never say your plans to strangers, especially your travel plans. This is one of the early concept designs for Varlanth. Now, Varlanth is actually my icon. He's the colorful, cosmic looking thing. That's my icon. And he also has a couple of videos where I'm drawing him out. Those are other concept designs for him. One concept design where it's like very orange and very warm colored, I actually might make that one of like his children. That's up in the air whether or not he's like going to be an actual father or a grandfather figure. It really depends. I gotta finish this. This is not finished, but this is like a village street. I'm not gonna show you everything except for this one. This one. I fucking love this one. You want to know why I love this one? You want to make great art, you have to get the most expensive supplies ever. No, you don't. I drew this. Where the fuck is the tool I used to draw this? It's somewhere. I drew this with this. This is... But because these come out oftentimes so light that you have to really bear down, it really helps with shading and ink. This is ink. This is that. Pikes Peak. I feel like I have. Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is definitely ringing bells. No, what? Thread through the nut. What was this? Oh! It's a half-ass schematic of like... Oh, I remember now. I need there to be a hardware around here so I can do weird shit. Here is me playing around with some like Coptic markers, I think they're called. I'm a massive God of War fan, actually. So this is Kratos, here's Atreus, here's Mimir. Brock came out kind of looking like a gorilla, but look, I didn't mean to make him look that way, but he kind of came out that way. My face is not perfect, but I'm working on it. But Kratos is looking dope as hell. Kratos came out looking good. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that, Kratos. Empty pages. Oh, concept designs. Her eyes are too buggy. Here's some of my, like, facial stuff. Her eyes look weird to me. Her eyes look, like, too big. And it's all about angles with faces. This is... it's like a flower I drew. Armor. Fucking around with armor. Jude! Oh, I love Jude. So Jude's a character, right? It's another one of my characters. She is supposed to be the next Morgan, basically. So she's like primed for combat. So this is her after she's like learned everything. Like this behind her is like a warhammer in the shape of a bird. It's supposed to be the shape of a raven. And yeah, so her backstory as to how she became the Morrigan is supposed to be her home was technically raided, so she had to run. So basically, she has had to deal with a direct impact of the current ruler's tyranny, which is a lot of how the Morrigan kind of processes things, or rather, kind of chooses her successor. Is you were directly impacted by the rulings and the oppression tactics of this ruler who is failing at his duty. Who would you change? How would you change it? You know? No. I've never cosplayed. I kind of wish I did. I did. But cosplay materials are expensive. They're so expensive. You can kind of finagle it a little bit with like going to Goodwill, but I don't have a thrift store anywhere near here, and I don't have a sewing machine, and I have the barest experience sewing. Like I made this by hand. And it's taking forever. I'm not done with it yet. But yeah, so Jude's gonna be a baddie, basically. Bird. He came out fat. He came out looking really brown, but so I love him. Oh, so I kind of copied this off a Pinterest picture, but like I was working on my pin drawings. Came out cool. It came out cool. I'm actually not done with it. I think this was also made with the hotel ballpoint. I gotta come back to that. That's not done. Huh. Noted. Some doodles. Some deadly doodles. Oh, like one of my first attempts at drawing dresses. Like ball gown dresses. Like a lot of ruffles, a lot of details, a lot of shading. Fashion designers, a lot of artists don't get like... I haven't seen the Smurfs in so long. Yeah. Yeah. I guess they did have mushroom houses. Huh. What was I speaking about? You made me lose track. Made me lose my train of thought, but it probably wasn't that important. Wow, I have a lot of blank pages. Oh, hey. Okay, so I've had this question asked so many times, and I had a teacher like pull me aside because of a specific drawing that's very much like this. I have had this in the past, but currently I do not have any suicidal thoughts or ideations. And I say this because of that. This has gotten me in trouble in high school before, like drawing people hanging. And I get it, I do, but this does not mean anything. This was drawn like forever ago. There was no harm. I'm not a harm to myself. I'm not a harm to others. So, but I've had dealt with these thoughts. And yeah. This Barry, he came out kind of cool looking. So did she. I don't know what the fuck this is in the corner. Like, this is a weird looking thing. Huh. This could be something. Cactus? The onion lizard. The onion lizard is another concept. It's just a little lizard that ties an onion to his head. Like, there's little folk, like little pixie folk that could help him out with it. But he has an onion tied to his head. Keeps his predators at bay. No, they don't like onion smell. I gotta finish that. Here's a list of roots. Alright. This one doesn't really have a ton of sketches. Like, here's another concept piece for Scarlet. Another sort of fashion designing piece, I guess you'd call it. Playing around with Coptic markers and monster making. And I believe, yep, Sulthwili, the sea monster. Kind of wanted something between like an eldritch deity and Moby Dick. Came up with this. He came out kind of cool, actually. Oh yeah. So this is the Seraphim Throne. You mentioned how I don't have a good past with. How I mentioned how I don't have a good past with Christianity. This is the concept of it. So the Seraphim are supposed to be like the biblically accurate angels. They're not supposed to look like mankind. They're supposed to look fucked up, basically. So, you know, the concept runs around the premise of the angels look like monsters. So why are we worshiping? I don't have good background with Christianity, guys, man. It's not a pleasant experience, especially if you don't fit in what they believe to be the ideal perfect person, the ones that are supposed to get to heaven. I don't fit that ideology. They called me a demon when I was growing up. That's fucked to tell a child, especially a child that's done nothing. I harm no animals. I harm no kids. I would actually cry if I accidentally hurt another child. But they call me a demon for whatever fucking reason. So, because fuck them. Fishing. A fishing lure. Now, are there sketches that I kind of want to show? Oh, okay. Don't hate me. But I kind of was playing around with indigenous mythological concepts, and I believe it's the Western tribes. I'm gonna probably get a lot of shit for this because indigenous people don't really like people like using stuff from their culture unless they have like actual like understanding of the entirety of like the symbol or the action or the dance or what have you. But the Western cultures have this story of like how land was made, like the land that we walk on versus just the endless ocean. And it basically goes like a turtle dives and they like throw mud onto his back and he comes up and he becomes essentially America, the American continent. So this isn't finished, but this is a sketch on that premise, and he kind of looks more. He's not supposed to look like a tourist. He's supposed to look like a turtle. And if you look, you can kind of notice the beginnings of like mountains and landmass on his back. But that was a cool story, and I kind of want to finish this, and I really should finish this because this actually looks really fucking good with what I got done. So I should finish that. But I mean no disrespect if I got any parts of that story or just the summarization of that story. I don't mean any disrespect to the tribes that Gamara. I have no idea what he's talking about because it's all like seconds ahead. Is there anything else? Oh, Melanoe. So Melanoe has a different concept. So from Greek mythology, she's very rarely mentioned, but I think what is mentioned signifies her as a possible daughter of Hades and like a embodiment of nightmares. Oh hey, look, it's Gwen. It's Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man. Really. Here's like part of a tattoo. I actually have the whole entire concept design on my iPad, but I want to get it tattooed on my neck and chest. And Woody Falls? I think so. Wait, no. That looks... Oh, hey! Here's a doodle and another concept piece for Daria. Here is a wider shot of the Seraphim throne. Like, in reality, it would look very intimidating because it's just this looming statue of, like, 4 wings and just, like, 10 eyes, and they're all staring at you. And you just get this very ominous feeling from it. Because it feels like it's staring into the soul. It's one of those things, but it's still a work in progress. Doodly doodles! This is grid paper, and the reason why I got grid paper was specifically to work on my proportions with it, to make everything look more symmetrical. Here's one of my D&D maps. Ow! I got myself... Doodles! I gotta finish this one. I haven't finished their hair. Oh, my cathedral doodles. I have so much unfinished artwork. Oh, this one's a good one. This one's like favorite. Yes, I am. I'm working on it. Another one of my dresses. This one with a posing person. Some pen scribbles to work on it. Oh, so this symbol, right? keep an eye on that symbol. If it pops up on any of my future stuff, then pay attention. Actually, I might just use that to be like use it to be sneaky. Gored by Oh, I think this is, I have a like encyclopedia of like saints and stuff. And that was kind of it. So this I kind of ripped off of Leonardo da Vinci sketchbooks. This, I base this off the Door to the Mines of Moria. So this is like very, very loosely based off of that design. So yeah. A muscular Fred Flintstone. Back design, which I might make in the future if I ever get around to like leatherworking. I think so. You guys have seen the Darius pendant. If you haven't watched the Darius pendant video, create, but this is the original design. This is the original sketch for it. So Procreate has a symmetry feature, which is why you only see like half of it looks like it's done, because I only really need half of the design, and then when I'm on Procreate, I just turn on that symmetry feature, and then just this part just gets mirrored. But this is designed for Darius pendant, so it's the pendant of the sun, basically. So whoever is associated with the sun god or becomes the sort of lots of loose concepts. Okay, guys, look, we're still working on a lot of concepts. That's why I'm up here, just to work on the loose concepts. I'll bring them together when I move and I have better Wi-Fi to do everything with. But right now, we all get what we get. Okay. Yes, it's drawing software specifically for Apple. So it costs a little bit of money, but when I got my iPad, I got Procreate. And it's actually been very useful. It's been a very good drawing tool, especially for digital drawing. There was a bit of a learning curve because digital drawing is very different from actually painting. But something I like about Procreate is it's very easy to like export a time-lapse video, which is what I have been doing with a lot of my stuff, especially stuff pertaining to the world of Terath, which is the world I'm building. So, of course, it is also why I've been working on the animations, like the stick figure animations. This is how I'm making them. This is what I'm using. Like here's Arlian, right? He's a cosmic dragon. That's why he looks the way he does. He's all shiny, but he's all black because he's supposed to be Shadow in the space and a dead star. No, I will never move to Denver. I'm probably gonna move to Washington, which is probably really expensive, but like, Hopefully by the time I'm ready to move, which won't be for like another couple of years, because I really, really like my boss up here, and he's been really, really kind to me and really like patient. He's gone above and beyond of what like the standard bosses have done for like everyone nowadays. He has been fantastic. He has been every bit worthy of my respect. So I'm not leaving until he probably croaks and the hotel goes to another owner. So long as he owns the hotel I work at, we're good. The moment that hotel gets sold, I'm out. I'm fucking gone. Bye. And I told many people this, and they all get shocked. Like, the people in town get shocked. Like, but we like you. Why do you want to leave? And, like, I have to tell them that's been the plan from the get-go. This has always been temporary. Whether or not it's 3 years or 5 does not change anything. I intend to leave, and I intend to leave eventually. This has been basically the isolation point to sort of get my shit together. And you've kind of seen a lot of who I want to be. So, here's another animation. Why are you only showing 2 frames when I have far more than 2 frames? That's actually kind of concerning. I don't like that. Where are all the frames that I worked really hard to make? That's not cool, bro. That's really not. I worked really hard on that, and I was hoping to turn it into something eventually. Downfalls of digital art. Anyways, I've been going on long enough. It's 4:30. I am tired. I'm not necessarily bored, but I do kind of have things I gotta do. Can't be doing this all the time, but you guys got a good idea. Thank you. I'm alright. And also, my name is Sierra. Goodbye.